I'm Karen from Liongate Farm, and today I am going to teach you how to felt little bunnies. Today we're going to make little lop-eared bunnies, and have little fluffy tails, nice long ears. Face is a little bit complex, these little cheeks, but I think I've given you a way to do it pretty easy. So let's talk about what we're going to use today to make these bunnies. Of course, you're going to use core wool. Core wool is wool that is less expensive than other wool. It's usually coarser, felt really easy. And we're going to use a natural black, this is Columbia, natural black Columbia wool. Comes from the Columbia sheep. I like using natural black rather than black because it's better. And then we're going to use a Corriedale wool called Drizzle. It's kind of a blend of some whites and some light grays. And then a dyed Corriedale pink. And again, Corriedale's a breed of sheep. And then I have an unknown white. It's just some fiber that I have in my stash that's super white compared to the core wool. This will be his cheeks and his chest and things. So let's get started. Well, actually, a couple more tools. I have this stuffing stick dowel. I have a ruler. My trusty 38 star needles, my favorite needles. And then I have my multi-tool loaded with two 38 stars. You might need a Sharpie, a fine point Sharpie, and a pair of scissors. So we'll go from there. First thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna pull off a piece of core wool. We're gonna make this head. What we're gonna do is make this the bunny's head first. So we're gonna make approximately a 2-inch ball. It's 2 inch by 2 inch by 2 inch all the way around. And to make a ball, I'm just gonna take this piece of core wool. I like to roll it up into very tight. The more you roll it, the less you have to poke it. Make it nice and tight. Give it a couple stabs to adhere it. We're not at 2 inches yet. When you're wrapping it, kind of wrap it like a ball of yarn around, move it around. Get it to the right size. You don't want to make it too big because then your bunny will have a giant head. Next thing we're gonna do is color this ball the color of the bunny head. So today we're gonna use this gray, but you can make a brown bunny too. So if you're doing brown, you'd use your brown. Well, you can make any color bunny. Maybe you can make a red one. So tear off a piece of your Corriedale, kind of spread it out. You don't want this super thick, and we're gonna cover the ball. The face is probably the hardest part of this whole bunny. Keep rotating the ball around. I don't worry too much if some of the core wool shows through. It gives it depth. So you have a nice little ball. I'm not going to worry about this spot right here because that's where I'm going to attach the bunny. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make this shape right here. And we're going to start, so this shape measures, it's a heart, and it's 3 inches across at its wide part, and it's about 1.5 down here in the middle. So I'm going to tear a piece of that white that I have. And I'm going to build a heart. Don't want it too thick because you're going to add it to your ball. I think this white has some merino in it because it takes longer to felt than Corriedale. Let's make sure it's all the same thickness. I'm going to flip it over. You can see it's sticking to my pad. Put it back where it belongs. Bottom of this heart, you don't want it pointed, you want it round because it's his chin. And we'll shape it a little bit more when we put it on the face. And you don't want to point here. You want it to be a little bit square right in here. We're going to just keep poking this until it's well felted, like this piece here. That's about the right size. I know it looks bigger than your ball, but trust me on this. This is the size you need. Making these bunnies right now so you have time to make them for the holiday coming up in March. Good little springy Easter bunnies. Be perfect in a little basket. All right, so once we get this felted, see they're about the same size, we're going to apply it to the ball. And we're going to start stabbing it in right here. This is where the nose is going to be. Then I want you to take your needle, kind of stab where the mouth is going to go. right down the middle here. That helps attach it. By putting the mouth in here now, it's going to help us figure out where the chin goes. So now you're going to take this and poke it up towards the mouth. Do it on this side. Just tuck your cheeks on. I'm just going around the edges. This is the most finicky part of the whole project, getting this little cheeks put on. And we'll add a little bit of white here in a minute, a little bit more. But there's your basic face. Okay, so now we're going to build the bridge of his nose. You're going to take a little piece of your Corriedale, and I just roll it. If you want to use a skewer, you can, but you don't need to. And then I'm going to face it downward this way and tack it on. That puts this fringe in here, and then we're going to flip it up. We're going to poke this on. And then we're going to take a little bit of black. And take 2 pieces off here. We're going to roll these into little balls. These are going to become your eyes. We're going to poke them in right here. Try and get them nice and round. How big you make the eyes is up to you. These guys are about 1/4 inch. His nose piece, just so you know, is about 1/2 inch. If you're using a ruler. See, this side goes up more than that side, so I'm going to add a little bit of white over here on this edge. Just a little bit to build that up to match the other side. My heart must have gotten uneven. There we go. He's still flat-faced on this side. Poor bunny. Okay. Now, if you're impatient like me, I have to add the mouth in because I like to see what it's going to look like. Just take a little tiny fibers of your black, poke them in here. You need very little. And then we're going to take just a smidge of pink, just a little tiny bit. And I roll it in my fingers. You can use a skewer. It's going to go right here at his nose. You want poke it in at that corner first. Poke it in at this corner. Now you can just make it go a half circle, or you can make him have a heart nose, which is what mine always end up. Just tuck this pink in here. And we pretty much have a head for now. Not going to do anything else to it till we add the body. The main part of his head is done. So we're going to set this aside. Don't put them too far because heads will roll. They can roll away. And we're going to take a big, I'm going to put this pink aside and the black and the white for now. And we're going to take a big piece of core wool. And we're going to make a cone that is 4 inches tall by wrapping it around this dowel stick. And it's going to be fatter at the bottom. Approximately 2.5 inches wide, and I'll show you that in a minute. Let's secure that. And about 4 inches tall. So let's secure this bottom piece right here so that when we pull the stick out, we don't pull out all the insides. There's multiple tools you can use to wrap your things on. I use my ruler. I use this stuffing stick. I'm going to pull it out now. And we are approximately 2.5 round. The top ends up being about 1 inch. But we're going to make this a little bit smoother. I'll probably add one more layer. Again, remember your core wool is always smaller than your finished product, because by the time you add all the colors, we're going to add a lot of beefing up here. Let's add a little bit more. I'm going to wrap just once more around the whole thing. Don't felt this section here. We're going to use that to attach the head. So leave this kind of fringy up here. The rest of it, you want it pretty well felted. I don't felt my projects super, super hard. I don't think you need to, as long as they're doing what you want. You want him fairly flat so he'll sit up. And now we're going to coat the body in this body color, the gray. Again, I spread it all out, I don't mind. I'm going to leave the, well, actually I won't. I'm just going to coat the whole body. What we're aiming for is this. So I left a little bit of white there, but we're not going to worry about that. If you're holding your project in your hand like I like to do, just make sure you're not going to go through it and poke yourself in the hand. These needles can hurt. Once we have this all felted on, we're going to attach the head. This is the one we were working with. I like to attach from the bottom. Let's see, where do I want the chest? To there. Use this needle. And you can decide if you want your bunny to look like this, his head sideways or straight up. And usually I just go with however it attaches. So I'm going to attach. You want the back of the head even with the body. So the chin's going to hang over probably about a 1/2 inch. See if I'm right. Yep, the chin's going to hang over a 1/2 inch. So you want this nice and straight. Apply pressure to the top of the bunny's head and the base, and just start to attach them together. I get way in there with the felting needle on this one so I can hear it attaching. Pushing those fibers from the head down into the body. And then let's go the other way. My buddy's obviously going to be looking up to the left. I don't felt the whole body super tight because we're going to use that to attach legs. All right, now we are ready to put on his legs. So what we're going to make next, well, he's not standing up, so let's make him a little flatter here. There's our bunny. We'll just do that. We are going to make 4 legs that look like this. They're fringy on one end, and total they measure 3 inches. The beefy part is probably 2 inches. So we need 4 of these. I'm going to use my little tool again. Let's just secure it a little bit. Not going to felt them quite yet. I might need a little bit more. That's 3. Now we'll felt them pretty good. Bottom end is, and you'll figure out which ones will become which feet. So the bottom feet are kind of, these outside feet are a little flat, and these are a little round. Flat ones, round ones. So 2 of them are going to remain round, and 2 of them are going to become flat. This will be a bottom foot as opposed to a round foot. So let's make another round one. There's a round foot, and this last one will be our other outside foot. The next step, there's 2 ways you can do it, because obviously these need to be gray. You can attach them and then put the gray on, or you can color them first. I've done it both ways, and all I'm doing is just going around the foot. Either way works. In this example, we're going to put the gray on first. Just lightly felt it on. But I'm only going to put it on the front of the 2 flat ones. I'm not going to worry about putting it in the part that's going to disappear under the haunch of the bunny. And we'll cover the bottom, these ones. These bunnies take about a 1/4 ounce of color. Maybe a little bit more, but usually just about a 1/4 ounce of color on their bodies. And that includes the ears. One more. If you notice, I draft this color out, which means to pull the fibers out to make it thinner. So it takes less. Trying to keep the legs pretty small. Again, be careful when you're stabbing between your fingers. Don't look up at the TV and keep poking. Okay, next thing we're going to do is make their little haunches. Take a little piece of your core wool, probably about, these are about 2 inches on your ruler. I'm gonna use my ruler this time. And I'm gonna make some square little pillows at the 2-inch mark. There's one. And this will be the second one. So they're 2 inches wide approximately by about 1/2 inch thick, these little pillows. These we aren't going to color yet. We're going to take that. So here, this is going to go on top of your foot. So it's going to go about right there. You want the loose end on that side and loose end on that side. And we're going to poke them in round. And then we have a little foot here that's going to be attached right here. So you place this little square up just enough over the foot so that it remains flat with the body. I know this looks really messy right now, but it'll clean up in just a minute. And see how I left this body Corriedale loose? It's helping the foot attach as we poke it in. So before we go on, we will color that. You're going to lay a piece over the top here. Lay another piece across here and over the bottom of the foot. And we will just start right there. Tuck in all the edges first. Might need to be a little bit more forward. There. A little bit more here on this leg. repeat with the other side. See, he won't sit up right now because that foot is on there. So the next foot is this one. And here's his other little haunch. I'm going to stick it right here. Same process. Tuck in the sides. Okay, next we're going to attach the front legs. Just gonna sit them right here and poke on this fringe. You're not gonna see this because it's under the little fluff we're gonna put on for the chest here in a minute. So just tack them on. Got his little legs on. Now, for his chest hair, you're gonna take some of your white, and I'm going to take 2. These are probably 4-inch floofs. Let's call it a floof. And I kind of like divide it in half and pinch it right here. You're going to lay your rabbit down. And you're just going to poke right across his neck in here. In a line. Once you're pretty sure that's attached, you're going to bring his floof down. Oh, we got a little bit of a leg showing there. Bring it down over his legs. It's pretty subjective. You can make it look how you want. I just poke a little. I hardly felt this at all. This is super fluffy because that's how I like him. And it fills in that area between his chin and his chest. And he's got a nice little fluff going on. Next thing we're going to do, same kind of thing. Take a little fluff. And you're going to poke it on right down here. Flip that back up. Just tuck it in a little bit. There's his little tail. And then all we have left to do is his ears and a little bit of touch up on his face. So we're going to take our body color and you want about 4 inches or so, and we're going to felt this 2 pieces. Just kind of tack it down. Might you add a little bit more. Now I want you to trace the shape of an ear. It's hard to see what I'm doing here. You're going to trace one ear and you're going to fold it in. Felt those folds in a little bit. And then you're going to trace the shape of an ear over here. Fold those in. Now I like to take my natural black and just add it right in here. Add a little bit onto the ear. It can overlap because we're going to fold it onto the other side. And then we'll peel that off and flip it over. Let's do the same thing with this ear. Oops. Everything's getting caught on me today. Just let it go up the ear a little bit. It's going to disappear a little bit. Flip the ear over. Now, flip it in. They don't have to match. So we're going to take some white and put it right there. Just a little film of white. Make sure to keep the ears separate. And then you're going to take some pink. Just a thin layer. And now I'm going to felt these really well. I'm going to flip them back and forth. I'm not worried about the pink and the white and everything all melding on the back. I don't worry about that. It goes through. It's okay. Make sure to keep flipping them back and forth so you can hardly see the pink in the gray. Okay, once you have your ears both pretty much felted in here, you're going to take them and you're going to fold it, fold the ear. You want to do both of these at once. So one is going to go like this. You want to be able to see this pink. Lay this one next to it, and it's going to go the opposite way for the other side of the head. You want to fold it so you can see that pink. And now we're going to attach them. So one ear, I'm going to place it right here. So it comes up to the middle of his head. I like to see the pink. And we're just going to tack it on. This is a little bit fussy right here. I'm going to take the other one. Tack it on. And then we're going to take a little bit of gray because we want to build up this brow. And I like to fold it in half, and we're just going to put it right along here and tack this in. I don't like the line that I got in there, so I'm going to add another little piece over it. Sometimes you can make eyebrows this way if you want them to have eyebrows. Work it into his nose. Now we've only been concentrating on the front of his head. We got to finish the back of his head here. Add another little piece. And this is where I get a little fussy and just start working his nose and his eyebrows. Making sure his eyes are nice and round. And tacking his ears down. Then we're going to make sure his smile is nice and defined. We are going to give him a little dot, 2 o'clock position in his eye for a highlight. Take 2 little tiny pieces of white. Two o'clock, tiny. Sometimes they disappear and you have to put them in again. We'll add, oh, I dropped it. We'll add another one over here. And then I like to take my little Sharpie and give him little freckles. You can do this with fiber. It's just way cleaner to do it with the Sharpie. It's my little trick. And you can also give him a little highlight right here on his nose. And there you have it. You have a little bunny. A little Easter bunny. Oh, now this ear turned. You might have to play with your positioning of your ears because this ear turned out a little bit. Let's go back and touch him up. And there you have it. He's a cute little bunny. Oh, I missed one thing. Wait a minute. Give him some toes. Give him some toes. I almost forgot the toes. Just trace in 2 lines. I forgot his little, oh, he's stuck. You're giving them toes. Sometimes the foot will flatten out just a hair more. And you'll need to work on the bottom here just a little bit. And then you can take little black fibers And he has little toes. Let's do it one more time over here. I'm going to carry those fibers around the back. And there, now your bunny has some toes. One cute little bunny with his bunny friends. So he had a little white patch here, and I just added some gray. And by putting the needle in way far like this, it's felting on the inside. And you can feel it felt. And I'll tuck these in. I just go through after I have them all together and make sure everything's nice and smooth and attached. You don't have to color the bottom unless you want to. Let's make it all look like one piece. I'm just filling in a little bit of his side of his head to make it match. Right here. Match his cheeks. Give him some eyebrows. There's no foolproof way to teach you how to do this. It's just something that comes along, and you can kind of do it by feel. And make sure you get his eyebrows right or he'll look mad. There we go. Thanks for joining us on our rabbit video. Now, if you like our videos and you want to support us, the best thing you can do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that really helps us out. And if you need supplies, just head over to the Liongate Farm webpage and visit the farm store. See you next time.